Hello, everybody, and welcome back. The day is here. Here I give you the Arcanist 1-bar build to rule them all. Oh my gosh. It is the Dadcanist, or as I call him, the Bardcanist. Oh my gosh, I got the name. I can't believe it. Shout out to our wonderful friend, Groovy Foxtrot, for saving that name for me so I had it. Oh my gosh, loving it so much. Let's get into this build. Everybody's been wanting me to do a write-up in a video and everything. Check out the video, check out the description below the video, so that you've got all of the stuff that you need to put this together. We're going to go over it really quick right now of all the things that you need to create this. It's so easy, and oh my gosh, does it pack a punch. All right, let's start off with the gear first. All right, so the gear that we're going with first, everything, let's start off with the weapons. All right, you just have one. You got a lightning staff. I've gone with Soulshine for my one of my main two sets in here. Soulshine is absolutely amazing. It gives you Magicka, crit chance, spell damage, and activating ability with a cast or a channel. Time grants you 361 weapon or spell damage for 5 seconds. So you know how everybody goes, book go burr, burr. This really helps it go burr and sets it into a whole other gear. It is absolutely fantastic. All right. So Soulshine is going to be our set, one of our sets. The other set that we're going to be using, of course, is that we're going to be using Deadly. All right. Deadly is the second set in here. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely fantastic. Spell damage, crit chance, spell damage, increase the damage of your damage over time, and channeled abilities by 15%. Boom. So Soulshine, Deadly, and then I have Slimecraw for the helm, for the crit chance, but you can put anything in there if you want in there. And our good old friend Oakensoul can come back with this. All right? I have been, so you can use Oakensoul, and to complete the build, because you've got it from one of my other dad builds in there. Absolutely wonderful. But if you don't, if you've been going on some adventures, and actually this is one of the easiest mythics that I have come across getting. It literally took me less than 2 hours to do. It's the new one, the Velothi Ur-Mage's Amulet. Oh my gosh, absolutely amazing. It gives us some offensive penetration and increases your damage done with monsters by 15%. Gain minor force at all times, increasing your crit damage done by 10%, and reduces the light and heavy attack damage to 99%. What? It reduces the light and heavy attack to, that's almost zero. Yeah, everybody. This is a new unique thing here. If you've got trouble light attack weaving or heavy attack weaving, you don't have to worry about it anymore. They've boosted your damage against monsters, and you don't have to worry about having the light attack rotation. The only reason you do it if there's something of another set that you wanted to proc, or if you wanted to gain resources back, that's all you're going to be doing with that, because it's just going to flat out just give you a whole lot more damage. All right. So I suggest getting this as soon as you can, going into the new areas, picking up. It was very easy. A delve boss, a world boss, getting a key out of a normal one of the normal dungeons, all little things like that. You can check out different places. They actually give you a step-by-step guide to doing it. Like ESO Hub has it all listed for you. You can even check it in the add-on display leads. It'll tell you where to go. So wonderful pickup. So can you use the Oakensoul? Yeah. But my next step would be try to get this new mythic. Very easy to acquire. So that's it. What do I have these in, just to make sure I have everything in Divines? Divines. And then for the jewelry, I've got Bloodthirsty and the spell damage enchantment, which it now gets listed as a multi enchantment effect enchantment. It's because now they've added a little bit of Magicka recovery, 10 Magicka recovery on all things. And if you see with me, because I know the price of like jewelry is really tough to make it, it's really expensive. I've got mine in purple. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's not that much of a difference when you're talking about jewelry. So, yeah, so wonderful. Okay, so that's all of our stuff with that. Let's look at our eyes over here. Let's look at our attributes. Everything is into Magicka. My where's it? My Mundas is the thief. Let's see. Food that I'm using. Oh my gosh, resources are not a problem for us with this build, which is absolutely fantastic. So let's boost up everything that we can. So I go with Longfin Pasty with melon sauce because it just across the board increases health, magicka, stamina. All right, nothing that we have to do any kind of recovery with because we don't have to worry about it. Our sustain with this is absolutely amazing. It's so easy there. From whatever content I was doing, from parsing on a dummy to going through a vet trial, or going through vet dungeons, or I just completed VMA on this just yesterday. It's fine all the way through. It's absolutely fantastic. And then for the potions, I use this to Tripots. And what's great about these restoration pots, they're easy to make, and actually we get a bunch of them every month through our dailies. So when you log into dailies, you probably got a whole bunch of these cluttering up. So might as well use them. Let's see. So we did the Mundas, we did the food, we did the potions. In here, the skills are next. Let's go check out the skills. What are we using? It's a 1-bar build. Well, kind of. It's a 1-bar build with options, in a way. Because I'm not using Oaken Soul now with the upgrade to the Vel Ring, I mean, I can technically swap bars. So if I wanted to put something on the back bar just as like a utility belt, I could. All right? Nothing stopping us. But it's a 1-bar build. That's all we need to get everything accomplished. What am I picking? Oh, my gosh. So many great things that are coming out with the Arcanist. I love it. We're taking first Inspired Scholarship. That's coming out of. So we've got our three are the Herald of the Tome, which is our DPS, Soldier Apocrypha, which is the tanking, and Curative Rune Forms, that is the healing. So we are taking this one first out of the Herald of the Tome. Herald, I love that for my Barcanist. Etch a series of runes into your weapon that pulse with the power once every 3 seconds. Each pulse enhances your class abilities, and striking an enemy of one deals an additional so much Magicka damage and generates a Crux if you have none. While slotted on either bar, gain Major Brutality and Major Sorcery, increasing your weapon and spell damage by 20%. Oh, it's just so much all goods and stuff, and it just looks amazing. Check this out. Oh my gosh. And the sound is absolutely just like the coolest thing ever. I love it. It's actually the reason why I have my the weapon style that I have is so that it kind of matches, because it fits that, because no matter what your staff looks like, this is the graphic that you get on the staff. So mine kind of just fits in there like perfectly. Let's see. There you go. Oh, I just love it. I love it. The fashion per second is high with this character. So great. What's the next one? Next one I have is Reconstructive Domain. Draw forth your tome and invoke the Leviathan of Abysmal Sea to conjure a vortex of eldritch power. Standing in this vortex grants you and your allies minor courage, minor fortitude, minor intellect, minor endurance, increasing your weapon and spell damage by 215 and your health and magic and stamina recovery 15%. Here's where our recovery comes from. The vortex also heals you. The morph of this I picked heals you and your allies for so much health over 20 seconds. I love this. This is where I fight. I put this down and I'm moving around within this. I'm getting resource back. I am stronger with the spell damage, and I'm getting health back. I love this. You can kind of see the shell of it, like the shell of it. When it's the original skill or ability, it's just kind of like flat on the ground. When you do the morph, it's got a whole different look to it. I love it. All right, not much to cast. So if you have to move with it, or something like that, and go to a different location, boom, you're fine. It's not going to be draining for you. Love it. So this is my world that I fight in. Fantastic. All right, what else do I The the flail. They infuse your arm with abysmal magic to form tentacles that lash out at your foes, dealing 76, 72 physical damage, healing yourself for 3505, and generating Crux. So you're doing damage, it's also healing yourself, and enemies are immobilized for 3 seconds, and marked with abysmal ink for 20 seconds. What does that mean? If you've got ink on it, you do more damage. So you do 5% increased damage in there, and deals up to 100% more damage to enemies with less than 50% health. So it's always neat when you kind of do this and you just, knock them out. Really great graphic, great sound to it. Oh, love it. See if I can get a good angle on it. Yeah, there's the tentacles. And it actually reaches a fair distance in here. What's the distance of it? 15 by 5 meters. So it is an AoE. You're going to see a lot of our stuff is AoE based in here. So the system, if you're not familiar with the Arcanist system, the thing that gives you more damage is this building or more healing or something like that. Is the building up of cruxes that spin around you that you can see, and then releasing that through a skill or absorbing it or allowing it to buff up something else. Let me see. Let me go hit something outside so you can kind of see the what the crux looks like. It's these little triangles that go around you and stuff. So if I'm going over to here, boom, 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 and the max you can build up is 3. When you build up 3, all right, and they persist with you until you use them, you can see that my next skill over here, all right, actually you can see it down below here, is lit up and, a little glowing bit and stuff like that. Realizing that that is at the maximum and it's activated and I can use it to do some really big damage. All right. What is that one that uses up the cruxes? Well, this is our book go burr. Harness pure knowledge into a beam of energy that scars the world in front of you. Channel the beam for up to 4 seconds, dealing 21 magic damage over 0.3 seconds. While channeling, you gain a damage shield that absorbs up to 13,974 damage and grants interrupt immunity. Casting Pragmatic Fate Cover consumes Crux and increases damage done by 33% and decreased cost 16% per Crux. Now there's 2. The other one does a little bit more damage, but this one is so great because it puts a shield around you. So, and it's really great when you're in the heat of battle and stuff. Sometimes I just throw this on, and I'm just getting an absorption heal while I'm just trying to beam something down, at the last second. So it's really quite amazing. So let's see if I can get a good angle when I do this too. So I've built up all my Crux. All right, they're all set to go, and then boom, I'm beaming. If you see the shield around me, I know, yeah, there you go. You get that little bubble. All right, yeah. Really just an amazing graphic. First person is really cool, too. Yeah. Absolutely outstanding. Yeah. So that's your damage stuff in there. And then lastly, I've got a heal. All right. The heal is, let's go to rune forms over here. It's the very first heal that you get. Evolving Rune Mend. Craft a series of adaptive apocryphal runes, then propel them at yourself or an ally in front of you. The runes heal for 4k health 3 times, and additionally a little bit over 4k health over 6 seconds, and generate a Crux. Each active Crux reduces the cost of this ability by 3%. Again, this build, I didn't pick the most heavy-hitting options win in here, but all these do a little something either to make it more cost effective or give you a shield or help you survive. And that's the big thing with the dad builds in here, is that we want something that's if you're going out on your own, you can survive. If you're in a dungeon group and you don't have the best of healers, you can survive. If you're in a trial group in there and you're standing in a little bit too much of the AoEs that you're not supposed to, in there. The healer can't get to you in time, or you're using up too much resources. You've got stuff that's going to help you out with it. So it's a little bit of everything to help out the build in there. And so that's the reason why I picked all of those. And then the ultimate at the end. Oh, I should show the graphic. Oh, I love that. That's so amazing. Yeah. And you see all the little runes coming off it as it does the heal over time. Love it. And then the last one that I picked is the for the ultimate in here is the Languid Eye. Go back to a Hero of the Tome. That's the one up there. Everything. I like this one because it's an AoE that you can place on the ground. The other morph of it, you actually have to click on or have your cursor on the enemy in here. This one, what's great is that it's an AoE on the ground. You can place it just like if you're doing a Destro ulti in there, and it also has the ability to move around, which is really cool. Tear open the fabric of Anubis to summon a Scion of Hermaeus Mora. This being cast forth a beam that rends asunder reality for 6 seconds that deals 5k magic damage to enemies within 5 meters every 0.5 seconds and snares them by 50% for 3 seconds. Every 0.5 seconds, the beam's damage increases by 7%, which is a lot. The Science Beam can be repositioned by recasting the Languid Eye. I kind of like this one too, because I can cast it. All right, I want to put it on this guy, and then I'm like, whoop, I realize, oh no, that's not the boss. The boss is over there. Okay, move it over. There you go. Yeah, it's pretty sharp, but it is pretty handy to kind of move it around a little bit in there. And it's another great graphic in here that you just have that that eye just kind of beaming down. Really cool. Yeah, it does a lot of damage. If you're timing this where you do that and you've got your book go burr, it really is amazing. So even though there's not like a rotation with this because it's kind of fairly easy, you can kind of see what your setup is in here. I'm using my Inspired Scholarship. I'm getting myself all ready with that. I'm putting down my area of what I'm going to be fighting in with my movement. I'm then going to be going after things, boom, with my tentacle. And actually what's great is that because I have Inspired Scholarship on, normally to build up 3 Cruxes, you'd have to do like a skill 3 times. Not with Inspired Scholarship. With Inspired Scholarship on here, let me beam it out a little bit there. All right. If I have Inspired Scholarship on, it's going to give me a Crux already. So I only have to go 1. Look at that. I already have 2 up because I already did 1. And then 2. And I'm ready to go. So it's very quick. That's the one thing, another thing I love about this build. It's just bam, bam, burr. And I'm in the game. Yeah. And that's where you really want to focus on. And that's an easy thing to focus on. In the heat of battle when you're, a whole bunch of chaos is going on. I see a lot of the other builds with the 2-bar builds, of course, a lot of different skills and stuff can get very complicated. Are they going to do more, in a parse DPS? Yeah, but kind of just in practice, this thing hits like a truck. It really does. It's really, really good and very simple to accomplish. Like I said, very easy. I click that, I put that, and I'm bam, bam. Oop, it's the guy over here I want to hit. Burr. I'm over there. All right? And then I'm going bam, bam, burr. And I'm backing off, and maybe he attacks me. I dodge roll. I heal myself up. Go after another enemy. Bam, bam, burr. Very easy to pull off. It's really amazing. And it just feels so fluid when you're doing it. And I think that's the great thing about this. Now, a lot of people might be saying, hey, I've been seeing all these great 1-bar builds, and they're using stamina side of things. I'm using all the Magicka sides of things and stuff like that. I like the staffs. I like to be at a distance when I'm fighting. Those, the ones that are using a stamina are phenomenal builds, but you got to be up close for that to do damage. two of the main skills that with the stamina build that you would switch to if you were doing that would be the dual wield. You'd be using the Blade Cloak, and then you would be doing in the Fighters Guild, you'd be using Trap in there. That needs to be placed, and then it has to be run over, and then you have to stay in there for Blade Cloak to be able to work. This is run and gun at a distance. It's really wonderful to have. All right, I don't have to be very close to get everything going on this, moving around, finding a different target like that, and doing that. So if you're like me, you like to be able to attack at range. This is a great variation. The Magicka one is so great. Does it do a little bit less damage than the setup for stamina? From what I've seen, yes, only because the people I've been watching are wonderful parsers in there. But this thing is no slouch. With everything on it, I think my best one on the PTS on there was 84. So 84k DPS is phenomenal. If you remember my last dad build with the DK, I think was in the 70s in there. Now again, remember, don't compare this. You can't compare this. Oh, I hear the things like that. Oh my, I hear comments and stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, unless it's 100k, it doesn't even register. No. That's on parsing. This is something that has a heal, a great sustain, an easeability of this that is, bar none, the most fantastic build that I've ever made. And it's so easy to accomplish. This is something that is absolutely amazing, easy for you to acquire. Oh, I'd even talk about that. Slimecraw and Oaken Soul, or the necklace we talked about already. Soulshine is PvP. You can buy that on a trader, or go and just get it through doing all the PvP events that we did last month, and we're going to be doing at the end of this month. All right. Deadly is got my thing mixed up. Deadly is PvP. Yeah, I always remember that from Willy Wonka. Strike that, reverse it. Deadly is the one from PvP. You probably got a full set of it on you if you've been doing any kind of PvP. If not, buy it on the trader. All the parts are on there. Soulshine is from Reaper's March. It's the Overland set from Reaper's March. You don't have to go anywhere. You can just go to a trader, have a little bit of money, boom, buy all the pieces, in there, make it, upgrade it, boom, you're done. You've got this build. Like I said, outside of getting a Slimecraw or any kind of helm on there that you want, and then using Oaken Soul, which you probably have already if you've made one of my other dad builds, or putting in the new amulet in there. Very, very easy to accomplish. Very for so much bang for your buck. When I was going through VMA yesterday, I was killing things so fast. It was absolutely amazing. It's the strongest VMA build that I've ever made. Absolutely outstanding. Yeah, because I always worry with people when they hear numbers like in the 70s and 80s. A lot of people are just like, well, it's not 100k. Those 100k ones also do stuff that are good for parsing, because I know how to parse. I know all the little tricks and in there. A lot of you don't have a heal on it. You're using food that buffs, it's a one stat food that buffs your main stat, but your health is probably at 19,000, compared to my health with this character in here. What is my character in there? It's 23k in there, and my Magicka's at 30. So there's all these things that you have to consider. So I hope people don't get when you see numbers into that 100k and you're not hitting those numbers, that you don't feel disappointed in that, because you want something that's that is kind of a jack of all trades thing, can do some healing, has some sustain, all this kind of stuff. So don't be worried, when you hear these kind of numbers and stuff like that, and don't dismiss it, because again, there's not much I couldn't do on this build. It really, like I said, it really hits hard. I've taken it through trials. I've taken the vet trials. I've taken it through a hard mode vet trials. It still works wonderful. We've done VMA, VVH, just overland, world bosses, everything. It's outstanding. All right. Enough of my rant. I just want people to love the dad build so much because, yeah, you might be doing a little bit, less of the parsing, but gosh, putting together such a powerful build. If you would have told me back in the days when like 30k DPS was like max damage, that on a dad build 1-bar that I could just clean up with like an 84, 85k DPS, I would have said you're crazy. So it's really wonderful. So I hope you all are kind of get my meaning of behind a little rant on this. But it's fantastic. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. All right. Let's see. So we did like that. We did the skills and stuff like that. Take all the passives when you're doing that. Take all the passives. All the you don't need it actually for the soldier one. Actually, the soldier one has a couple. Don't sleep on the soldier passives. They've got a couple of ones in here that aren't skill related in there. So take those last couple down there. Take all the healing stuff. Take all the Herald of the Tome, of course. Take you don't really need the because that's in abilities, but everything else in destructive staff. Not the last one. I'll put those down below. The armor for this is medium and heavy. Soulshine is a heavy, so it gives a little bit extra armor, which is kind of nice in there. I still got to work to get my heavy all the way maxed out. Yeah. So all the passes, all the racial stuff, everything, all the crafting stuff. We've talked about this before for all your provisioning and stuff to have that up and everything. So you want everything. You want everything that you can for your passives. And then finally, the CP. Okay, that's the one that people are waiting for. Your CP to take for the green tree, you can do pretty much whatever you want in there. What am I picking for this? I'm picking Wrathful Strikes, Thaumaturge, Biting Aura, and then this is a flex spot. If you're thinking like a flex spot when we're talking about skills, there's a flex spot here with the CP in here because really you want something that's giving us some extra spell damage. Wrathful Strikes, wonderful. Thaumaturge, we've got damage over time stuff that we're dealing with. We've got a Biting Aura because everything that we... Oh, that was the other thing I was going to say. This is not direct damage. This is not single target damage. This is damage that is an area of effect damage. So when you're doing a parse on a single target, something like, I'm doing like, 85k on it. But that's... If I had a whole mob, I'd be doing the same amount of damage to it. It's always amazing when you start seeing like, 200k damage on a group of mobs and everything, because all of this damage that we're doing is AoE damage. So you got to take that into consideration. And so this last one in here, you can put anything in. Right now, I like Untamed Aggression. I've talked to a bunch of people about it. Great. It's just giving you a little bit extra. Again, something like a Master at Arms isn't going to help us. A Deadly Aim isn't going to help us. I'm a Khajiit, so I really don't need, Fighting Finesse for that extra crit damage. That could be one that you could put in there. You can put Fighting Finesse in there if you want to instead. One that I really liked and I was testing out in VMA is Reaving Blows. You do get with the Flail skill, you do get some healing back from the hits. But Reaving Blows is great because when you do direct damage, you heal for 7% of the damage done. So you're getting all of this great healing in there. So that's really nice. For the red tree, I'm going with our basics. Boundless Vitality gives us more health. Fortified gives us more armor. Rejuvenation is giving us back some resources. And then Siphoning Spells giving us some magic after kills. Both of these are things that you could actually do some flex, because you're not getting a ton of rejuvenation out of it. And a Siphoning Spells you could swap out too. If you want some speed, you can add like Celerity, which is fantastic. If you're in a certain dungeon or certain trial even that you want a little bit of Slippery to give you a little break free, that really works really well. If you want to be able to res your teammates a little bit quicker, if that's what's necessary, if you're doing a dungeon or something. Again, a wonderful kind of flex spot of things that you could do within that. So, but the two basic ones, the Fortified and Boundless Vitality, are the ones that you want to go with. All right. Let me see. So we got all the stuff like that. I talked about all the gear. We went through all of that stuff and how to acquire it. We went through the CP just now. We went through the attributes, the Mundas, the food, the potions, the skills in there, the passives. Take all the passives in there. I think that's it. Yeah. Everybody, oh my gosh, thank you for watching this video. If you can kind of tell, I'm super passionate about this. This feels really good. A lot of people have been talking about how all their builds just feel fantastic. Whether you go stamina or magicka or whatever that you do, everything, it's going to up your game, and it's a different playstyle. I think that's the really big thing about this. It's a different playstyle than what we have seen before. Having a directional, I always like having that where I get to line up shots with this, and I'm like, I'm hitting damage here, and I see there's an enemy over there, where normally I would go like, okay, I'm going to hit him over here, I'm going to hit him over there, and I kind of angle myself so I hit both of them. So you see I'm hitting the one behind, and I'm hitting the one in front of me in there. That really helps out. I've lined up a whole lot of things in VMA that way. Absolutely outstanding. So yeah, I hope you all see how awesome this is. And I said it's the best dad build to date. I think it's the easiest one to put together for people. It does so much output of damage. You've got your wonderful, like I said, your wonderful healing, standing in your circle, doing more damage, having a wonderful healing skill on here, having a, just a fun looking ulti. So much fun. I always like this guy, kind of move him around to all different things. Just amazing. So much fun. And I really think they knocked it out of the park with this. You can tell that they took their time in working on this. And everybody knows that I kind of wanted a bard in there. But you know what? I really like what they did with this class. I'm really happy. I can safely say from the time that I've played it, because I played a lot on the PTS, and now I've been playing it, for the first week of release, it's going to be my new main character. I'm really loving it a lot. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Hope this helps. And again, down below, I've got all of my, I'll have the written description out, so you can go in there, check that out, copy, paste it somewhere so that you have it in there. And then for this YouTube, if you would, like, subscribe, ding the bell, leave a comment. All that interaction really helps with the channel, because we're trying to keep on growing and hopefully become a partner one day and be able to make a little bit of a few coins off of off of YouTube. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much. Have a great one. Enjoy your time in Tamriel. Bye.